I said to Claude, this is the information about the hackathon. These are the ideas we're looking at. And then I gave it a bit of information in terms of what the marketplace research we've done as part of the LMS, what we've done there, what project could we deliver that would align with all these requirements.
And so what are some of the options that you came up with?
Yeah, I'll give you that now. So for me, it came up with Thrive Discovery Ecosystem. So it combines 3 and 4 and market interface, which is the ChatGPT and the thrivecart marketplace, basically.
Wait,
so there's two elements. There's me like selling extra. So my courses, whichever of my courses are available, it's displayed to other content creators. So me, the seller, other sellers, users. So when I'm done, I should have this marketplace basically that I can buy other creators' courses. So it's that kind of upsell and affiliate kind of section of it that they want to drive.
And I want your opinions, Preetham and Yoons, on that, because what I see here is I see a recommendation engine, I see data either real and or mocked, and I see the hard learning curve of a ChatGPT app. That's how this breaks down as background tasks of while we're waiting for a mock prototype coming from product side, we could be sharpening our axes on those. What do you think?
Yes, it makes sense. From what I see, the products we have like the data necessary to provide a user with an appropriate product based on his interests. But to collect the interests of customers, that's what we are I guess.
I think we should see like how much staging data we can get. I think the most important part is probably the actual schema. So even if we are getting mock data, we know the schema of what the real data uses.
So basically, if you say at ProdBoost, right? You just mentioned it at ProdBoost. What is the database schema and for what courses, students? And so what we're going to do is we're going to get a reply right here, and it's going to dig through all our code. So basically, it's an available resource to you, and it shows you the sources and tries to get you to the next part of your question.
What I will start with is, like Preetham suggested, is the database schema, just in case we will have at least a schema that we can mock. But then I will proceed with the retrieving staging database data from database.
So if you can find any real data that we have, by the time we meet back, that's great. And then at a certain point in the day, we're going to mock up the rest of what you need, Mariska, if it's not there. Because I think you're going to try to take us bigger. You're thinking about combining ideas. And I know that's a winner idea for where the vision needs to go. And then let's solve that as a group, I think. And then hopefully we get a PRD out of that. And then I would like to convert that PRD to actionable steps with behavioral-driven design, spec-driven design, some people's calling it. So the spec and then the Gherkin stories, I want to get into that so that the team can start breaking the task list down. Look, when you start cussing at your AI, you've reached the
Travis has seen some chats like with this thing, how I'm like, I'm done with you. I'm not doing this anymore.
When you start getting abusive with your chat bot, it is that's when you know
it's a real problem, mate.
That's when you know it's time to take a bit of a break.
I'm like, chat. I'm like, I messaged Travis and I'm like, Travis, I'm done. I'm just losing it. And then he's quite good with phone. He's like, okay, tell me what's going on. I'm like, it's not working.
So you're telling me Travis is like an AI therapist?
He is my AI therapist, 100%, man, 100%.
You don't want to say easier than we thought. So I'm telling you, I am very superstitious to when you say, it just works. It's so easy. Tech is so easy.
By the way, it's a cool look when it goes dark, and I'm just looking at the code from the reflection of your glasses.
So this is the one that I provided for Preetham. This is the response that you should be getting, Preetham. I don't know if you have already managed to get it.
Yeah, I was able to get it. I was
Okay.
looking through it. Yeah. Backend wise, I was able to verify GPT will work with I was able to get like a mock API thing just to test it real quick. do like tool calls similar to how like an MCP works, but they have like their own way about it. So I think priority wise, we should figure out getting this API working. Whether I know Eunice said that we don't have an API straight up, we have to make it ourselves with the data that's given to us.
And like one more thing, because like from my understanding, we are working on like the combination of two projects right now. If you can just walk me through like the high level overview of what is that combination, it will be perfect.
Okay, so just to say, we obviously looked at this and we combining the thrivecart marketplace and obviously the ChatGPT. Looking at doing that, the agentic commerce is like the gist of what we're trying to do. But for our hackathon project, we decided to combine number 3 and number 4. Also, some information we have that we know who is looking for this project on that sense. And what this Lovable right now is, and we still obviously need to decide how far we can take this, is the ChatGPT element of it. And then there's obviously the thrivecart marketplace, which is a Netflix-style browser interface. So if we look at what we are building, these are the interface, the two interfaces, obviously. And if we come to Lovable, you'll see this is like basically, if I come on here, this is my the features. And then these are the courses basically I'm busy with, how long I've been turning. So it's just a little bit of our learner management that I brought into it, so that you kind of have your own thing. So and then we also have obviously the affiliate that you can maybe see. And again, might not be, but it says, what are your top performing courses? Where are you making money? Because that's obviously in the end of it, what drives a marketplace and how much sales are you making from that. So I built that in there. I think now it's just, I think Travis, we need to just check if that PRD aligns with what's here, and if those stories, the BDD stories that we can bring out of it, make sense.
Let's think about where we're in the process. Boom, we got together as a team. We said we're going to go for this much bite-sized idea. And then Mariska did a PRD. And I want to come back together and say PRD to BDD stories, get reports of like where y'all were with your skills. Like, Jones, did you find data? Preetam, did you do Hello World of GPT? And then let's go from there.
Right. From my side, I have exported some the schemas of our databases, and I'm currently working on the APIs that we will consume by project.
So for mine, I figured out that GPT is able to ingest like mock data or just like a mock API. I just used a default example that Postman had. So Postman actually has the ability to set up like a mock server over the internet. Like you don't have to have to set up any like, cloud anything. You can just do it through Postman. So
I think Lovable is like a coloring book. It's like beautiful and it's got the traces and the outlines. And most importantly, we're getting the user journey from a product management standpoint, right?
Yeah. We don't need to write the React application by our own just to save time. Use Lovable for that. And we just need to connect the backend APIs. Like it won't be like 100% working solution just from Lovable. Yeah.
Let Lovable do some heavy UI lifting. I love the idea that you're onto, that a project manager can do this design work rapidly, shows us the customer journeys, and we basically do start with a React project that's in the ballpark.
Mm-hmm.
You're totally right on that.
I got it working on my local.
What do you got working?
I got the Lovable working on my local.
I want to be right behind you.
Way we can kind of both have our agents looking at it and see what we can do.
You need that in just a second. She's got a markdown one. I think it's better.
Yeah, I like the markdown one, please.
The only thing is that calculating potential earnings. Okay, it's definitely got something to do with the affiliate stuff. You can earn up to 20% commission. Your rate is 15% standard and 20% premium. So it's fine. It makes sense.
That's so awesome. Let me scroll through here. Then Preetham took that and looked at each part. I tried to point out, like, obviously the banner is probably an API. The recommendations an API. Trending, that's its own API call. So theoretically, he worked through the AI with those. So he worked through and had the AI generate, this is the types of data we would need. Oh, he's got it. He wasn't there for the last part of our conversation, so I want to see if he picked up on what we were really doing. Let's see. So, oh, awesome. Preetham, you did it. Amazing. So Preetham, let's see this. This is okay. This is where the conversation picked up. Consumer dashboard. Okay, it's 4 a.m. Taking a look at what the team did overnight. This is something from Anton. He created, hopefully, all of our API endpoints and mock data for the entire project. I pulled it. So please create a page to show off everything for the consumer of the courses. Then another page, another single plain HTML page to show off following the API and getting the affiliate type things. Both HTML pages are plain JavaScript and call our actual backend API. You know, solve, went and installed Playwright, did its thing. I mean, I get a lot of insights just watching and reading it like a little book. But if you set the output style to explanatory, you get these extra moments where it tells you what it's doing. Kind of concludes one little chapter and gives you a synopsis. That's where I get a lot of my learning. I'll put it in a little safer mode than bypass permissions for a second. I just want to know if there's anything I need to change. I was thinking about that. All right, let's go back to this page. All right, so we got recent activity. We got generate affiliate link. Okay, do you want to proceed? Let's just make sure how this is set up. It's always fun to try to, I mean, really working as a team means I've got to be able to run my teammates' code. I've got to be able to understand it. So it's probably the most interesting hard part. What did you change? What did you change? So affiliate URL went to affiliate link. Short URL went to short link. Yeah, it's just data link ID went to data course ID. Earnings. Okay. Because we need to create a documentation from this. So I kind of like to have a little sidebar conversation with Gemini. What is and then it might make it relevant to my code. Let's get back into the conversation. Oh, look at this. Here's my first insight. For conflict, why it's important to manage dev server processes. Okay. Is the consumer type stuff, dashboardy, and this is the analytics stuff. So theoretically we should see some kind of, this is how much I sold. These are the top courses, and this is my recent activity. And then over here on the consumer dashboardy side, I would see some kind of banners. I would see recommendation. Okay, let's see what we got. All static files serving middleware to express. Does middleware mean my API layer to you? If so, the plan is good. Keep it simple. Just see what it's thinking. So if you hand code as an engineer, I think you're a tough guy, and that's cool. You're smart. If you're in the middle and you're copying errors over and you're having a thoughtful conversation, I call that low and slow. If you go all the way to the right and you want to go have a cup of coffee and you say, you pull up Playwright and automate test this, I've got better things to do. That's an agentic loop. So you pick the speed you want to drive your car, but I want you to be able to put your car in all those gears. Your learning moment is more important than our hackathon, honestly. But they go, but they go hand in hand. I mean, it's not really like either or.
Just to understand, this is built with what exactly?
Actually, it's set up in Node, so it's all just, you know, React, Node the whole way through. Yeah, I think Copilot could do the same thing. But let's get into this high-level folder that contains your front end and your back end as two repos. So your high-level project folder forms a pseudo mono repo view, and that's where we're going to open VS Code from, or whatever IDE that you use, and open Copilot from. And then Copilot will feel very comfortable saying, oh, I'm allowed to look at both of these repos, can see everything. So I know for sure We don't want to confuse Copilot and say, go up a directory and back down a directory. We just want to say like, look, we're going to have this high level monorepo view. If you're looking at front end, looking at back end, and let's get into it and find out where it's working or where it's not working. And you'll have all the AI help that can see everything. And then you'll have all of your human wits about you as a normal developer. Those combine for a really good combo. I can get an update on my end, and I could ask my tools like Gemini and Claude, hey, this version worked, this one didn't. Do you see mock data in here? Like I can inquise from a third party point of view, because your Lovable is like invested in its conversation, right? In other words, you have like a living context, like at any given point in Lovable, right? But also at any point, I can pull it cold into a new conversation with Gemini. Do you see mock data in here? Like before we ask it to remove the mock data, I could say, I could go do tests. Like I can make sure in my database, I really do have web development bootcamp in there with a 4.8 rating, right? And if I don't have that in my database, or I say, is that mocked up or hard coded on the dashboard screen, then I can also validate that we still need to pull out mock data or not. You see what I'm saying? Like you don't want to ever push breaking code or code that you haven't fully vetted, but I think you have to think from a different point of view. I think it's good to understand what change you just made, the way you're handcrafting it and really understanding it. That's critical. I think the only way you're going to know if it really works in Lovable is you got to push it up.
So just push it.
Yeah, that's totally okay in this environment. We have the good save point tag. But what I would love out of this is if we solve it for Lovable and local, then we make a little markdown of like how to please Lovable and local builds, lessons learned, dot markdown. You have dropped the whole API manual for front end into your context on Copilot over there. Just erase the bad context. We are fully going for the Railway API URLs. Please don't use localhost. Just say that. And then it'll know when it goes and reads that API manual, which one you're doing, right? So like try to get into second gear. Okay. And see if you're able to make this front end connect with your first gear abilities as an engineer, your second gear abilities with Copilot. And then in a moment, if second gear is working good, you go into third gear and you say, install Playwright for me. You go look at the pages. You go scrape the error messages. You come back and think about them and ask it to keep doing that. And then that's a way to see also if it can solve things. It changed some since when you made that JSON file. I'm going to say, look, salvage what you can from this just barely out of date JSON file, get the meaning of what it is, because we need these picture URLs, and here's some more ideas for courses we want. Try to fit them into our real database. So another pattern I do sometimes, Eunice, is I will bring Claude. I will have a parent directory, and I'll put each of these, the backend GitHub and the front end GitHub, and I'll have Claude sitting like way up high on a mountain, able to see both projects. Like our main focus is just to fix the front end, if that's something we could fix on the front end. But if you have a recommendation, you need to switch over and tell me you're going to fix something on the back end, let me know. And then that way it could literally spot something in our code that's like, oh, well, the back end isn't returning the array of courses because, and it's literally able to read what's happening in the back end, source code, logs and all, and then decide whose problem it is, front or back, right? So I might go to that level in just a minute, which Lovable isn't going to have that type of viewpoint. It's good at vibing out what we want, but at a certain point from the dev side, we may have to give it full context of front and back.
No, it's not. I literally just give it some couple of shots with the same prompt, just some minor adjustments, and it worked.
What was the root cause? What could Lovable not just read in our how-to document, and then 10 minutes in your hands?
I think the key of solving this is the console logs errors that we were having. We were describing the source of the issue.
That's a big success, because this is the first point we have Lovable calling our live API. So let's do a checkpoint with the git, add, commit, and tag, and then push. That means if Mariska comes back online from having a little lunch or something, she would be able to see where you're at.
Okay, great.
Are y'all familiar with the word canonical? It's like an idealized, authoritative representation. You know, right now we're at like a canonical model. And then Eunice is looking at our actual schemas. And by the end of the day, he'll have a gap analysis of like our canonical idealized version of this data that we see here on the screen and the reality of the gaps. So I think that's where we are on a Sunday.
I made a little bit of somewhat of a breakthrough. I was able to get the API calls working, except the ones with authentication. I'm still working on that. But I think I was able to get like the preliminary, like, okay, the endpoints are actually being reached by the GPT. So
congrats. Now, it's really important to look how that drop down uses that on those pages, because that is a big deal for how it works. But, you know, if you can't, we could think about going to the back end to make it easier for your GPT. Well, is Lovable still alive?
You'll be surprised, man.
Oh, looks beautiful. It's got thumbnails for the hero banner. That looks so beautiful. The trending and the match are not they weren't positioned wrong. They just didn't have thumbnails.
I fixed ton of things, man.
This looks great, man.
How do we build the backend? The database that I pushed it, but I don't think that it's built.
Okay.
The changes.
Well, if you commit changes, and you push, it builds. When you commit, it needs my approval before. That's what happens.
I was using two copilots at the same time, front end and back end, and
Are you serious?
I'm serious, man.
Expensive. I want to sell some I want to sell some courses, man. I want to be a real thrivecart user.
Yeah, that's really some magic.
We code like it's a hackathon in the first place, and then we have a step afterwards where we polish it up and host it in a way that's safe, right? Secondary process sprint, where like if we're happy with this beautiful mess that we've made with a hack together prototype, well, get it served somewhere safely and do the security audit on it. That's how I'd like to do code. Only thing I wish is I wish we had more data for Sarah Mitchell. She's the only user I'm really going to focus on.
The data over time.
We could probably talk to AI real quick and say, let's put, because this 158 is actually, it's a sum function. It's not a hard coded function. So I think we could literally say, hey, put some cells for Sarah Mitchell on 1018, 1016. You know, we're trying to show an overall trend that her cells are building from the local database is working, the remote database. So really it becomes a question, why would my remote database be different than my local database? How'd those get out of sync? She's got those transactions and they added up to 616. So there's data of some sort of more transactions in that remote database that did make it, but something needed for earnings over time did not. That's the question here. Railways, by the way, Railway's been going down.
So this could be actually the source of the issue.
That's terrible. You are a son of a gun, dude. You are really upsetting me right now. This is when I need it to work. You've gone down in my mind, Railway. I'm going fly IO next time. Oh my God, I'm so upset with you. Right when I need you, man. Right when I need you. Railway status sucks, man.
Yeah, they're not even showing that it's not properly working on your status.
99.94 uptime. Well, I guess we're the 0.06 downtime, huh?
Could you please share screen so I can? Because I saw you earlier pushing a deploys button or something like that.
Yep.
Didn't you?
Oh, let me show you over here. So this is our project. If you push again, you'll see the deploy button and I'll hit it again. So something about your source database star SQL files are different. Probably if you have something that's not checked in one of these source database SQL files, you might want to consider, well, that's what's being copied over to our database.
So this is my log. I missed the change in the local API, so I added a fix for it in a separate commit.
It's all to main. It's all to main though. So the commit's called, the latest commit, if we want to get back to it, it's called fix API.
Yep, this is the one.
We'll go back to fix API if we screw it all up.
But the main thing is not only that. By the way, the filters on the left side are not working for some reason. I fixed some of them. For example, previously they weren't working at all. I fixed some. For example, click on personal development.
And then if you need some changes, it's easier to make it now, visually, whatever, user flow. Let's clean this back end up a little bit. This is get it served somewhere safely and do the security audit on it. But you know what I mean? It seems like you could have a whole team that's like security experts of like, I see your project. I know how to get that authenticated and kind of wrapped into AWS ecosystem that we want. Hold on. Let me check railway status. Status. That little sucker better not be going down right during our demo time. I'm going to be so mad at it. Just successful.
Let's check it on the robot side.
Let me try it from Lovable. Oh, there you go. You trying it?
Right.
Sarah's.
Does it update directly or?
Her earnings are there in terms of like, you see how many errors in your
Oops.
any suppressed errors in the console.
Let's see.
They all have more sales. That's
Wait.
for sure.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm viewing the logs and they're doing their thing. It's doing a database seeded successfully. It's doing a health check. It might be, I think it's successful. I think it's up. It's good. I am a user. Right now I'm Sarah Mitchell. I'm actually an affiliate, but I'll show you from kind of a non-affiliate view what we have. We have a dashboard that has a hero banner of different products that we want to promote. We have a personalized area. These are for me. These are a combination of my interests and categories and things that are trending. And so those are the matches. If I hover over it, I see some basic things like that. We have other things on here, such as the new courses that are trending up this week and so on. So let's say you want to see it from an affiliate point of view. Just a few slight changes when you hover over it. It talks about your earnings and the commission that you can get. And when you go into it, you could get your affiliate link. The analytics dashboard, I can see my total sales as Sarah, my total earnings, my earnings per click. I can take a look at the top performing courses across the entire global, company. And then I can also see my particular activity.
Hey, I'm Sarah. Can you help me check my affiliate metrics and trends? Oh, seems like I'm doing okay. Can you show me some trending courses for my interests? No wonder. So today, if I want to do, there's some meals, some nutritional meals, strength training. I think that will be these two. I think the health industry is pretty good. So now I can add both of these links, affiliate links, and I can just start earning some additional income off of fitness and health courses. And once I get here, I can log into thrivecart and start earning.